Hello and welcome to another video trying to get you the very top grades at GCSE. I'm trying a new experiment today, so I'm going to show you a comment posted on my video Writing to Inform Grade 9. That's important because you're going to want to find that comment, and as we scroll down we're looking at Dia Matwani. I hope I pronounced that correctly, Dia, and she has very kindly posted a huge part of an essay, 650 odd words, on how does Priestley present Mr. Birling in an Inspector Calls. I'm going to show you parts of that essay to show you how to get it up to grade 9, and what I'm going to offer you is every day or two I'm going to use a student's essay. If you post one, I'll make a video on it, providing it's at least a grade 6, okay, and I can show you how to improve it. So let's look at her introduction. Mr. Birling is represented as a cold and callous man throughout the play. His capitalist values are extremely cemented and he doesn't budge even after being repeatedly prompted by his children and Inspector Gould. So this is, I didn't realise it would do that. So this is a rather long introduction, which you kind of don't need. It's descriptive. Your introduction could start right here. Mr. Birling may be used as a cipher throughout an Inspector Calls to discredit socialist views and promote his shallow capitalist views. Priestley, we need a connective like on the other hand, uses Mr. Birling to show how narrow capitalism is, as it restricts, and it would be our thinking, or really anyone's thinking. So we get rid of you and your in an essay. So it restricts thinking about views of the world. Now this is a bit of a general point. Priestley isn't really, that's not his main point of the play, is it? Oh, don't be a capitalist, it will restrict the way you think about the world. Be really specific. What is it? What views will capitalism give you that are restrictive and damaging? So too long an introduction, even though you clearly understand the play brilliantly. In the beginning of the play, Mr. Birling is defined as a heavy-looking, rather portentous man. Now you start to get marked straight away because you're embedding evidence, quotations, indicating his imposing presence and how overpowering it is to have him around. That again is general. Overpowering he is perhaps as a parent, and then you could talk about his influence on Eric and Sheila. Heavy-looking may not only represent his physical appearance but also the extent of his aura. He's overbearing and fixated on his views, which makes us, we don't have to repeat audiences, makes us develop resentment towards him. Again, that's general. You don't have to write a lot about a little here. I know your teachers might have taught you that, but it's much more effective to link it to a new quotation, a new bit of evidence. So for example, firing Sheila, simply because she stood up for workers' rights, which the audience are encouraged to believe are fair. That would then link to your next point here. Capitalists like the Birlings are villainised throughout the play to show Priestley's indignation towards capitalism. Brilliant. They're shown to be pretentious and money-grubbing. Brilliant. Give us some evidence. Mr. Birling's motives are exposed. Aha, here we get some evidence. When he says to Gerald, "Your father and I have been friendly rivals in business for some time now," indicating that this whole wedding is a facade to him. Now you're really starting to get into the flow of your essay where you're linking ideas together with evidence, building an argument, okay, that Birling is exposed here in order to expose capitalist values. He doesn't believe that Sheila and Gerald are actually marrying for love, and the wedlock is just a business deal to ensure financial security and mutual benefits. He believes that Gerald understands the fact that it is ineluctable that both the businesses will come together when Sheila and Gerald get married, indicating that this wedding is a contract. Lovely, lovely writing, but you're taking a long time to make your point. And in an exam, your tactics are to make it as quickly as possible. So, indicating the whole wedding is a facade. He doesn't believe that Sheila and Gerald are actually marrying for love. Wedlock is a business deal, and then that really repeats the idea that's down here. We could finish it with indicating that the wedding is a contract. Mr. Birling's greed, instead of greediness, is further exaggerated. Well, you don't want to say it's exaggerated, because then you're not saying it's true. And Priestley does believe it's true, I think, in your essay, when he says, she means a tremendous lot to me, which could be interpreted in two extremely contrasting ways. On the surface, it seems like it is his affection towards Sheila that means a tremendous lot to him. Alternatively, the word lot could suggest that the benefits coming with this marriage are going to lead to a secure future in terms of financial security for both families. Again, I think if you played with that, you could say it in far fewer words. Mr. Birling is also portrayed as somewhat misogynistic. This is really good because you're linking the points together and therefore building an argument. When he says, she will make you happy and I'm sure you will make her happy, suggesting that he considers that a wife's role in her husband's life is to keep him happy and satisfied, like a sexual object. Additionally, I'm sure could represent some sort of doubt. So you can start to see how the essay is developing alternative perspectives. So the writing is pretty good. My main advice is to try and say it with fewer words. You don't have to go so deeply into each quotation. When you get to the end of this, you'll find that we're only up to the point where the Titanic is unsinkable. And you've written 650 words. So although the writing is brilliant, you're not scoring enough points. In order to get the grade 9 or 8 in the exam, you really need to cover the whole play. So tactically, you need to think about the beginning, the middle, and the end. You need to think about why Birling initially thinks that he would change his views and spend money, give thousands, he says, to bring Eva back, and then changes that when he finds out that the inspector's a hoax. When you get a question about how does Priestley present whatever character, the examiner has in mind the scope of the whole play. And so it's super important that you plan an argument that goes from the beginning of the play right to the end. Okay, so that's my top advice to you. Go and have a look at Dia's writing, because the vocabulary is excellent, her understanding is excellent. You can steal that. But perhaps you could think about how you're going to rewrite this whole essay so that you could do it in 700 words and cover the whole play. Good luck with your revision. Goodbye, even.